Ron's still at work. You're
There
in
we
the
go.
I'm
office, Ron.
still here. And I'll be here for another 4 or 5 hours, so
Oh,
one of those days.
Okay.
That's what you get for taking one day off, you know?
That's usually
Yeah.
how it goes.
Yeah, and it always comes back to get you.
Okay. What did you do with Mr. Steve?
I don't know. Let me look.
Okay. I don't know. I see an empty chair. Oh, but he didn't take his. Look at the hang of this stuff, right?
yeah.
Hey, it's all new. It's all new, yeah.
Takes time.
You
Okay, I
guys
think
look, you
Steve
guys
was
look
logging
nice.
in.
Yeah, you look nice and clear though on your video, and you can hear you all really well.
Good. Well, there he is. Okay, it looks like everybody's here, so let's call it to order. Roberts is here.
Johnson here.
Thank you very much. Jessica, any visitors today?
No, there is not.
Okay. Next item is the approval of the minutes of October the 12th, 2021. Ron, not Ron, excuse me. Ray, any changes or everything okay on that? Okay, very good. Okay, very good. All righty, well, let's get this party going. Mr. Hunt.
Well, hello. Okay, Sandia Creek. I'm gonna have Ron just kind of give a brief update on Sandy Creek with the deals with the pipes and their status on there. So Ron, take that away.
Yeah, no problem, Dave. So basically, it's as you know, we're still going. We gave the Marietta notice to proceed already. This happened back in September, but they let us know of all the issues going on with just pipe manufacturers, just a lot of backlog, and it's what I've been telling for the past couple months here since we started that we're trying to get the pipe secured before they can actually get on site. And we've been working with Marietta and we've been pushing them, and Contact is the pipe supplier, and they've been working hard. It's just they have so much backlog right now with all the labor shortages. It's just I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, but it's just been taking this long to get the pipe secured, and unfortunately that is a critical path item. So basically they're moving forward, they're pushing everything, and we did receive construction submittals. We received multiple submittals for that, which means that it's actually in, it's close to the production queue. So, and we have received, we approved those submittals back in October. So, and they've been going through, and I heard just recently from the district that they received contact from Contact, which is the pipe supplier, that it's moving forward. So, the manufacturer has it in. I think we made it to the front of the backlog and they are producing it, but they haven't given any specific dates to Marietta, which makes it really hard for them to schedule a crew because, they have to have a crew out there ready to go when this goes. So they're still standing by with that exact date. I've been reaching out to Marietta constantly, and they know it's just been the same thing. And they're reaching out to Contact constantly. So once we get that exact date, we can start getting everything locked down, and they're going to go out there a couple days before and just, prep the site. But they need to know when that date was before they can actually move ahead with that. After speaking with Marietta, they kind of, they said they are open to coming to the board meeting if need be, if they would like, to show from their perspective and what's been going on. So if that's something the board would like or that the committee would like us to do, we can arrange that. But I just wanted to bring that question up to the committee if that's something they wanted to entertain.
Yeah, before you talk about that, the pipe manufacturer actually sent Duluth it's a preliminary lien showing that, the contractor's going to owe them $60,000. And when they send that, that means they're in production. They're spending money. When they spend money, they want guaranteed they get their money back. So that's a good sign. Excuse me, that's a good sign. So that means they're working away on it. So in some cases, that means they're getting ready to deliver it before they give it to the contractor. They want to notify the client, hey, just in case before you pay them anything, they owe us $60,000. And it's common for big subs like that to do that kind of thing.
Okay.
And you got, Jim, you got that yesterday or? Yeah, okay, you're on mute, so it's okay. So it was yesterday. Got to get you off mute. You're the boss.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it came yesterday. You're
Came
correct.
yesterday, so all that is a good sign. But I do think it would be good for the owner of the company to come in and show, hey, they're harassing their subs to get the stuff because they know how important it is for the community. I mean, they want to get this job done. They've been working on this for what, a couple of years, ready to go. And they did a great job for us on the two projects that we had for all the different culverts and stuff. So they're ready to go. They just need a green light that they can start without having to stop. And that's a big deal. Anything else, Ron?
Yeah, and I guess I could say, I mean, one benefit, the owner of Marietta Development actually is a member of the community, so Todd
Mhm.
Close, he works there.
So
He's familiar with the district and everything, so he's in for the best interest of that. We just need to make sure that we're setting everybody up for success here on this project without any delays during construction, because that's when stuff gets costly and everyone gets out of hand when that happens. So we just want to set them up for success with that.
So the question we're proposing is, would you like the owner of the company to show up at the board meeting or just keep them away? Either way's fine. But, so that's kind of up to the engineering committee if you'd like us to invite him. I mean, he can
Well,
show up on his own.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea. Jim, what do you think? Ray?
I agree.
Yeah,
Good. Let's do it then. Yeah, I know Todd. He is very concerned to make sure that things are being met and taken care of up in the communities. So I think it's a good
Yeah.
idea. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, it was when Ron was talking to him, just want to bring this out, and he goes, are we in trouble? I mean, we're doing the best we can here. I said, no, you're not in trouble.
Yeah.
We just need to build the confidence of the residents that everything is being done
Mhm.
to get this job done, because everybody's been sitting around for years waiting for it. And so he's just as concerned.
Yep, and
Okay,
just,
very good.
yeah, to make things easier, I mean, he has multiple projects that he's reaching out with them for too. So it's not just this project that's getting delayed. It's nationwide right now. It's just something we all have to deal with, unfortunately, but we'll make it through.
Okay. Let's get it scheduled then. Okay,
All
very
Good, I'll
good.
reach out to Ryan. He's my contact over there, and he'll talk to Todd and get everything squared away.
Okay, very good.
Good.
Okay. Moving on.
Okay,
Buena
Buena
Vista?
Vista is the next thing. Buena Vista is still in the environmental review period with all the agencies. We shipped them everything. Ron, when was that? They should be like in the middle of it.
It was,
You remember we sent all the submittals to the Fund Buena Vista?
yeah, we sent the preliminaries, everything over there about a month and a half ago, and then we had that meeting before the last board meeting with the board, letting them know that, hey, they started the review, they're looking into it, so they're
Yeah.
still reaching back and forth between Rincon, our environmental consultant, and the regional water board, trying to come to some conclusions on that, but everything is in their hands.
Yeah, now if you recall, you may not have been on the engineering committee back when we did this with Sandia Creek. When that consultant went through all this preliminary back and forth, when it came down for the actual permit, there was no questions. It was just signed off. So this phase is kind of important for them to get through.
Mhm.
And they're still moving slow. My big concern, we're in November. With my dealings with the federal government, working for Corps of Engineers and others and getting permits. If we don't have it before Thanksgiving, it may be hard to get until January or something, because they just shut down.
Mhm.
They don't work too hard in that time frame between those dates. So
Okay.
we're pushing, we're knocking on their doors. Ron's very good at that, pestering him. That's why I have him doing it.
Well, why? Are you the good cop and he's the bad cop, Dave?
I'm the good cop, he's the bad cop.
That's
That's-
a fun job.
And he's also the district engineer in training, you know, so he's gotta suffer some of the bruises like we did when we were young. It's all
Mission
part of the,
accomplished.
it's all part of the training process.
Well, God bless you. Okay,
Thank you,
very
Nancy.
good.
Ron, could you before the board meeting, get some detail from Rencon? With where things are shaking out, you know, in current time. I think for your presentation next week, if you had real current information that this agency is okay, this one's still pending, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I can reach out. And I have been reaching out to them weekly. So, you know, it's kind of just the same song and dance, but I can get more concrete information
Yeah.
from them. But again, as concrete as it can be with these agencies, because you've seen how they
Well,
work.
I understand who you're dealing with, but
Yeah,
if you could flesh it out a little bit more, I think it just gives a little more confidence, you know, what's going. Maybe if a horror story or a good story or something to add to it might be good.
Okay.
yeah, what we could kind of do is highlight what each agency's hotspot is and what their concerns are, because they all are different. They're not all the same.
Well, maybe just a few of those.
Just a few.
Yeah,
Just to
yeah.
show that what their
So they,
questions are asking.
because it's hard for the people that don't work with this, and like me, I've worked with it, but I don't know the details of the environmental processing. And so, you know, from the receiver's end of the information, we're kind of in the dark. And so maybe if you could give just a few examples of what we're doing, and even one, I think it'll be a little better received. Because all we're really doing is trying at this point is trying to let the public or the board, but primarily public, believe, you know, that we are in fact working on this, you know. So if it was something you were working on, you could just, you know, throwing out nuts and bolts and this and that. I'm working on this and we did that yesterday and blah, blah, blah. Well, I understand it doesn't work that way on this, but the what I said prior is, I think, better received by the public if there's a little bit more detail.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay,
All right.
very good. Okay, moving on. Mr. Steve.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Jessica's got a nice show for us. So as we've been telling you for well over a month, this road got resurfaced, but they never came back and finished up and put those RPMs in. So I made numerous calls and emails. Next slide. And guess what? We now have raised pavement markers along the entire street. So this will be better for everybody now for nighttime or rainy, foggy weather, guiding you through. Changeville message board was moved over to Sycamore Mesa. And we continue to look at intersection visibility, proposed driveways visibility, new street locations visibility, and we're reviewing the contractors out in the field doing spot reviews of their traffic control. So this is a little safety issue that we had a few months ago. Somebody dumped off this beautiful trailer for us. We
That's
didn't find much use for it. This is what they left it, you know, with on stilts, and parts are being stolen and stripped. And about ready to fall over, as you can kind of see here. So we notified the CHP and asked them if they would please tow it away. We did that 3 or 4 times to 3 different dispatchers.
Mhm.
Nothing happened. Finally, it's gone, and I think we have thanks to our sheriff for that. So
Hmm.
the next time we see Sam, we'll have to say that. Anyway, that's our traffic report for tonight.
Okay, a couple of items for you, Steve, and also Jim, just to let you know, we may have at the next board meeting residents that live off of La Cruz. And so what I'm just kind of hearing in the grapevine here is the resurrection of a request of a stop sign there at La Cruz. Apparently, I guess there was a near collision, and this individual was pretty upset and has been talking with other neighbors. So they might show up on site or they might appear on Zoom, but I just wanted you to be prepared. Also, those same individuals are resurrecting the conversation on the emergency exit for those individuals on La Cruz. So if you can remember back when we were talking about the golf course and so forth. So that was their second inquiry through the grapevine. So just giving us a heads up on that. They have been encouraged by other residents to come to the next board meeting or to appear on Zoom. So just a heads up on that. Okay.
Very good.
Thank you. All righty.
Steve, could we talk just briefly about that?
Sure.
Let's jump to that emergency outlet down on the golf course side. Steve, as I recall, we've cleaned that area up and graded it. Is there anything we had left undone on that? That was about 2 years ago. And I know that the crew has done some work down there. Can you refresh our memory just so we kind of have a little background if this occurs?
Yeah, I can, and we'll bring some pictures to kind of show that. But they cleaned up that cul-de-sac dirt turnaround area. We moved some of the pipe up there and stacked it out of the way. We then put some gravel down. We bladed a kind of a access way down to the golf course and put some gravel on it to try to keep it protected during the weather and stuff like that. So it's in much better condition now than it was a year or 2 ago. So hopefully they'll be happy when they see that. I don't know what the issue would necessarily be if they're looking for something more than that, because we don't own that property beyond there, so.
As I remember, it's mapped on the future development of Walker Basin. But those mapped roadways are not even within our district. So we can't force somebody to build those. And I believe there was conversation a couple of years ago, and the owner wasn't interested in building them, because then it creates another problem. If you open those up and there's no homes or anything around there, that now you've got the reverse, and you've got people now having access to the backside of La Cruz.
Right.
And I'm thinking kids, Friday night, that kind of stuff. So I think that I'll refresh my memory in the next week, but I think we pretty much took it to a logical conclusion at the time. So we should pull that out, refresh memories about what we did there.
Yeah, I think we were kind of saying, Jim, if I remember correctly, was that if we get them down to the golf course, you drive across the golf course. You don't need to have a paved road to get out of there. You just need to have a hard surface that you can traverse, in case of a fire, kind of a thing like that. And so
the graded cul-de-sac is not paved, but I mean, that would provide protection in and of itself, correct?
Yeah, it's probably a 75 feet or so of like a fire break, yeah.
Okay,
It's also kind of it's like a meeting area too. That's supposed to be, kind of a place to go to,
right, that's what, okay, I remember. And then one last question, La Cruz and Sandia. Isn't that one of the possible stop sign locations? Or am I
I'll-
wrong?
I'll look back on our original recommendations and see if that was one we looked at or not.
I believe there were 2 or 3 that were possible in the future.
Yeah.
So, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I believe that you're right on that. I'm starting to recollect that. Yeah, I think so. I think we did look at La Cruz. But anyhow, so one other question, Steve, have the guys been out in that area lately to take a look around to see if anything has changed or?
I was just there 2 weeks ago, maybe. It didn't look like anything dramatic had changed,
Okay,
but, again, we'll be there ready to handle any questions, we'll be prepared and stuff like that. And Dave, just as FYI, there's 6 pieces of 60-inch pipe up there that are 20 feet long. So if you want to
Really?
throw those in any of those holes you got on some of these roads.
Wow, okay.
I think it was left over from the FEMA job. I believe. Is
Yeah,
that
Ron?
right, Steve? Didn't Marietta have extra pipe? And they put it there? I think it belongs to Marietta, but it might be ours. I don't
But
know.
you made it paid for it, I mean, that's,
Yeah.
it'd be worth having that conversation with Todd and ask him, but that's where I think it came from. And like I say, you've got 120 feet, 6 sections of 20 foot each of 60-inch pipe up there, brand new, never been used,
That's big pipe. I mean, that's a lot of pipe to be left over from a project.
yeah.
Okay, Ron, can you talk to Ryan and ask him about that?
Yeah, I'll talk. I don't recall there being any 60-inch pipe in the FEMA projects, but I'll ask him about any details that he might know about it.
Because
And-
it wouldn't be ours because we haven't done any pipe jobs, especially that, 5 feet diameter.
No,
No, that wouldn't have been something we would have,
How big's the pipe you're putting in Sandia Creek?
60-inch, so I'm thinking maybe they had some extras on another job and brought it over, but I don't know how that would work, but I'll talk to him. It's all speculation now, so I'll have to just talk.
How big is the one you're putting in Sandia Creek that you're waiting on?
60-inch.
60.
How many feet do you need?
A lot more than that, but
yeah, a lot more.
I'll talk to him.
Okay.
okay,
And
thank you.
then maybe that's the issue. I'll be, one step ahead and say, maybe their issue, Debbie, is because there's all that pipe being stored up there
Mhm.
at the COSAC, stuff like that, they may see it as, maybe some sort of impediment to getting out in case of a fire, stuff like that. Like I said, we moved it aside so it's all stacked nice and neat and out of the way and graded a better road, but that may be their recollection of there was this pipe scattered all over everywhere and they haven't necessarily gone back up there since we moved it, but we may want to see if Marietta wants to move it out of there if it's their pipe,
Okay,
store it somewhere else.
And just before we
Okay.
jump the gun about using it on the project, there's a lot of specifications that it need to meet to be used. So that's,
Can
I just
we
don't want
sell
you to
it,
think you can just throw it in there.
can we sell it back to other pipe companies who are short on pipe right now?
I mean, possibility. We-
okay, well, we'll let Ron find out who it
All right.
belongs to, and then we'll kind of go from there then.
Okay.
Okay, very
Okay.
good. Thank you, Steve. Just wanted to make sure I got those pieces of
No
feedback to you.
problem. No problem. Happy to
Okay.
do it. All right, so now we're into maintenance now. And this is, part of our ongoing activities is to continue to work with our homeowners to help maintain visibility encroachments. And so next slide, our homeowner went out there and took care of that big old shrub you saw on the previous slide. And now we can see the road again. we had this another nice trailer. I don't know why the people just aren't picking these things up, you know, they're such a good deal, no charge. But this one here was on El Prado, I'm sorry, Croncho near, I said El Prado. It's on El Prado near Serrano.
Mhm.
Changed that slide and notified the CHP, and then it's now gone. We showed you this one earlier. I just want to kind of elaborate a little bit more on this, but this was Monte Rancho, where that's what the shoulder looked like with all these, there's 26 palm trees here that had grown in. We asked the owner to take care of them, and they got them all down to the stumps like this. And then we said, we got to get those stumps out too. So they went through and ground all the stumps out of all 26. And now we got a nice flat shoulder again. And so the owner has been really good on helping us there. We asked another owner on Ridgeline, their leaves from their private trees was clogging the drain. Asked them to please address it. So they did, they took care of it. So now the water for the whole street can flow again. On Buenos Campos, we're finalizing our bids to get that patched. And so we'll hopefully get something going here in the next few weeks. We've got an ongoing issue that out on Calle Pico and Calle Roca. We have owners or workers of the owners or somebody is dumping these packing bins and avocado bins, fruit bins. There's 5, 6, 7 different companies' bins that are being tossed out here. A lot of them are broken and everything else like that. So we're trying to get the packing houses to retrieve them all. I've been in contact with them the last 2 weeks, and we've gotten maybe 20 or 30 of them out of there, but there's still about 50 or 60 of these stacked on this corner. So we're going to try to take the approach of asking the sheriff maybe to put up one of his fancy cameras to see if we could catch who's dumping these things off, because we need to kind of stop it at the source. This was a water leak that we have out on Calle Jardín last week. Notified our water district. Now it's gone. No sooner get that taken care of and drove by Sandia Creek today. This is Sandia Creek at Tiempo. We got another one. So we got to call in to Rancho to come see what's happening here. And then we started, it's October, November time. We started again clearing drains, getting ready for the winter. And so this is just kind of show some of the heavy work that we're doing. We had to rent some backhoe equipment, stuff like that to dig in and get some of this kind of area. But this is an example of some of the heavy work we've been doing. And then not to be bored around here, we always seem to have a couple of trees that want to fall down around this time of the year. We had 2 of them total this month alone. One on El Prado and the other on Vaquero. And of course, after a few hours of cutting it up and our traffic control by our staff, we were able to reopen the road. And that's our report for tonight.
Very good. Tell your staff, thank you very much. Nice job.
Will do.
Okay. Mr. Jim, coming to our conclusion here. Anything to add?
Okay, I think everyone's aware that we did well with our municipal service review. I reported on that at the meeting, and Supervisor Jeffries agreeing to help us move forward to potentially obtain fuel tax revenue, which, as I reported, is estimated about $1 million per year. We're working on that now. We're using a BBK attorney who used to be a county council in Orange County. And for 18 years, he was county council for the transportation department. So anyway, we're actually doing research as we speak. I was actually reading the latest finding today, which the staff here sent it to me by email, and their board resolutions accepting streets and putting them into the county maintenance system, which is what we're going to have to do, is have the Board of Supervisors amend the original 1980s documents. And so I got the idea over the weekend that maybe we can save some time and effort and a lot of legal fees if we do the research here and find how do they do it today. If we were a developer wanting to dedicate roads that they had just built for the county to maintain, And I'll be doggone if they didn't find me about 10 resolutions. So anyway, we're gonna start on that tomorrow. But anyway, I think we're getting close, and I did have a long conversation with the chief of Jeffrey's chief of staff, Jeff Green. And we've agreed to work together on this and try to get this thing resolved as quickly as possible, but not later than springtime, because the report to the state controller goes in the 1st of May, and that is it's only once a year. So if we can't get this done by May, there's another $1 million a year down the trash can. So anyway, he's very positive, and we're working well together. And I'm hoping in the few months, I hope ahead, we're going to have good news on this issue. So anyway, to be continued, but it's moving forward. So as far as any other county, state, federal issues, I don't have any at this time.
Okay, very good. Let's see. I believe that is everything for this evening, gentlemen, and do appreciate all your time today and look forward to seeing you all next week. This meeting is adjourned.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night.